Ever wonder why most people set goals but never reach them? They write them down, they buy the planner, they post about new year, new me, and by February, that gym membership, a donation. The business idea, buried. And you're left wondering, why do I keep falling short? But the truth is, it's not about how bad you want it, it's about how well you're built for it. Because setting goals isn't enough. You need structure, you need strategy, you need a system. Welcome to Big Switchout, where we don't just set goals, we make the switch. From wishful thinking to intentional action, from stuck to self-made. This is how to set and reach your goals. Let's get into it. Here's the truth. Most people don't fail because they're lazy. They fail because they're aiming at the wrong thing, in the wrong way. Let's break this down. Here's what most people do wrong. Vague goals. I want to get in shape, but what does that even mean? Lose weight? Build muscle? Run faster? If it's not clear, your brain won't know what to do with it. No deadlines. Someday I'll start that business, but someday isn't on the calendar. And every time you say, someday, you push it one day further. Relying on motivation. Motivation is great for a few days. But what happens on the days when you're tired, when it's raining, when you just don't feel like it? Spoiler, motivation fades. Systems are what carry you when motivation fails. Let me give you a quick metaphor. Imagine getting in your car and saying, I want to go somewhere nice. No GPS, no destination, no timeline, just vibes. You start driving. Maybe you turn left, maybe you turn right, but after a while you run out of gas and nowhere close to where you wanted to be. That's what vague goal setting looks like. You waste time, energy, and willpower and end up nowhere. No wonder we get lost. So here's a stat to sit with. 92% of people fail to achieve their New Year's goals. Not because they're not smart, not because they're not capable, but because they were never taught how to do it right. And honestly, it's not your fault. We weren't taught how to set goals in school. We were taught how to memorize facts, follow rules, color inside the lines. But we were never taught how to dream strategically, how to take a big idea and break it into action. So we default to the same loop. New idea, big excitement, no plan. Life gets busy, we fall off, we feel like a failure. Sound familiar? Here's the shift. We don't rise to the level of our goals, we fall to the level of our systems. If your system is broken, your results will be too. So what if you stopped chasing hype and started building structure? What if instead of writing get rich on a vision board, you build a budget, set income targets, and track your net worth? What if instead of saying, I want to get fit, you become the type of person who trains 3 times a week, no matter how you feel? This is what we mean by making the switch. The big switch out. Switching from wishful thinking to intentional action, from feeling behind to building a path. It's not about dreaming less, it's about planning better. And once you do that, that's when everything changes. Let's talk about how. Act 2, the process. So now that you understand why most goals fail, let's break down the system that actually works. Because it's not about just setting goals, it's about setting goals that stick. Let's walk through the 5 steps that flip the switch. Step 1, identity first. Before you talk goals, talk identity. Decide the type of person you want to be. That's the foundation, because behavior follows identity. Don't say, I want to lose 10 pounds. Say, I'm someone who takes care of their health. That identity shapes your decisions. Don't say, I want to be rich. Say, I'm building wealth through discipline. That identity builds better financial habits. Here's the switch out. I'm bad with money. I'm learning to become financially free. I hate working out. I'm the type of person who moves daily. Your brain is constantly trying to stay congruent with who you believe you are. So when you shift the story, you shift the outcome. Your identity becomes your habits. Your habits become your results. And those results, they reinforce the identity. That's a loop you want to build. So we start by asking, who am I becoming? Not just, what do I want? Step 2, make it smart. Now that your identity is in place, let's give your goals some structure. We use the SMART framework. Here's what it means. S, specific. Vague goals equal vague actions, not get fit. Run 3 times a week for 20 minutes. The more specific, the easier it is to act. M, measurable. If you can't track it, you can't celebrate it. Track your workouts, track your savings, track your habits. Progress becomes your motivation. A, achievable. It should stretch you, but not snap you. If your goal is so big it feels impossible, you'll quit before you start. Start with what's realistic, then build momentum. R, relevant. Is this the right goal for the season you're in? If you're raising kids, launching a startup, or navigating burnout, honor that. Your goal should fit your life, not fight it. T, time bound. Deadlines create urgency. A goal without a date, that's a wish. This framework turns your goal into a GPS. You know where you're going, and you know what it looks like, and you know when you've arrived. Step 3, break it down. Big goals can feel like mountains. They look impressive, but they're easy to avoid. That's why we break the mountain into pebbles. Let's say your goal is to write a book. Big goal, write a book. Monthly goal, outline 3 chapters. Weekly goal, write 1,000 words. Daily goal, write 200 words after breakfast. That's 10 minutes, but it adds up because action compounds. And here's a real secret. Small win builds trust with yourself. Every checkbox you complete, it tells your brain, I'm someone who follows through. Small steps are powerful, not because they're easy, but because they're repeatable. And repeatable leads to unstoppable. Step 4, environment and habits. Let's talk about the unseen force behind success, your environment. Willpower, fragile. Mood, unpredictable. But your environment, that's something you can design. Want to work out in the morning? Lay your clothes out the night before. Put your running shoes by the door. Set your alarm across the room. Trying to journal more? Put your journal on your pillow so you can't forget. Trying to cut screen time? Turn your phone gray. Set app limits. Log out. Design a life that reminds you of your goals, not one that's constantly distracting you from them. Because when your environment makes the right thing easy, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be present. Step 5, track and review. Last piece of the puzzle, track your progress. Review your system. Every week, pause, reflect, adjust. Ask yourself, what worked this week? What didn't? What can I change for next week? Treat your goals like a living system, not a one-time decision. You're not failing if you miss a day. You're only failing if you stop checking in. Because clarity becomes review, and transformation comes from tiny tweaks over time. This is how you build momentum, and more importantly, how you keep it. That's the process. That's how we flip the switch. Not just hoping for a better life, but building one, brick by brick. Coming up next, let's talk about payoff. What actually happens when you stick to this? It's not just success, it's identity transformation. Act 3, the payoff. So, let's talk about what actually happens when you make the switch. When you stop chasing perfect plans and start living through consistent systems. You stop relying on hype. You stop starting over every few months. You stop waking up with the heavy feeling of, why can't I stay disciplined? Because the truth is, you were never the problem. The system was. And when you build the right system, you become someone who finishes, someone who follows through, someone who doesn't wait for motivation to show up because you've built the momentum. You stop looking for the perfect moment to start because you've already started, and the system keeps moving, even when you're tired, even when you're busy, even when you doubt yourself. You don't just try harder anymore, you start designing smarter. That's a shift. That's the big switch out. You go from hoping to succeed to building habits that guarantee it, starting from scratch every January to becoming someone who makes progress every single week, feeling behind to feeling in control. Because intentional goals create intentional lives, and when your identity aligns with your actions, everything changes. But it's not just about progress, it's about peace. Peace of mind knowing you're moving in the right direction, peace in your habits, peace in your finances, peace in your purpose. You're not constantly wondering if you're wasting time. You're not stuck in comparison. You're not waiting for someday. You've made the switch. And now the results are showing up in how you carry yourself, and how you manage your day, and how you feel about your future. You're not just chasing goals, you're becoming the kind of person who naturally reaches them. That's the payoff. That's the power of designing your life on purpose. That's the big switch out. And now it's your move. Goals don't work unless you do. But here's the good news. You don't have to do it alone. If you made it this far, you're not just interested in change, you're ready for it. And that's what we do here at Big Switchout. We don't just throw around inspiration, we build systems. We break down the how, we give you tools, habits, and mindset shifts so you can stop living on pause and start building on purpose. Because spinning your wheels, that ends here. Feeling behind, we rewrite that story. Whether you want to take control of your health, fix your finances, start that business, or finally live a life that feels aligned, this is your moment. This is your switch out. No more starting strong, then burning out. No more big dreams collecting dust. No more waiting for someday. You're done with wishful thinking. You're ready for intentional action. So hit that subscribe button and join the movement, because here we teach you how to make the switch from overwhelmed to organized, from reactive to intentional, from stuck to self-made. Thank you for watching. Thank you for investing this time in yourself. It means something. You mean something. And this, it's just the beginning. Big switch out. Make the switch. I'll see you in the next one.